Hey, what is up, you guys? My name is Taylor, and today we're filming a video. And in today's video, I have a special guest, Julia.
Hi.
And today we're doing a different kind of video. I was gonna film this video by myself, but I needed to have Julia here to film this fucking story time.
Yes.
As she was a bear witness to it and can contest it is in fact true.
Unfortunately, it is.
And Julia can give extra information about this fucking woman too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my whole bra thing's been out. That's so embarrassing. We both worked a summer job, and that was like this previous like summer that just happened. So me and Julia worked together, and we lived so close that like every day we would switch off who would drive.
Yeah.
Because it just made it easier since we're going to the same place. It was my day to pick up Julia, and keep in mind, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Because we worked the earlier shift. And of course you're half-ass awake. Like, I fucking lived on those Dunkin' refreshers because I couldn't be awake. And also, you have to be awake because we worked with children, which is also a key point to keep in fucking mind.
Right.
So, literally, I was on my way to her house, and there's like 2 fucking stop signs, right? I always stop at the stop signs, and I know I do, because I have a nephew who plays outside, so I always make sure I always stop at those stop signs. Apparently, I didn't stop long enough. So I make it past those 2 stop signs, and I park my car, and I'm waiting at Julia's house.
And at that point, I think I came out to the car, but then I ran back in, because that day was also supposed to be like 95 something degrees. So I ran back in the house because I forgot like the Gatorades I was gonna bring. So she was in the car waiting for me for like a minute by herself.
So the minute by myself, I'm sitting in the car, like I'm listening to my music, right? And normally when I go to Julia's house, I always leave like when I park the 4-way flashers on. And someone came up and she was like, literally with her walking her fucking dog. Why are you walking your dog at 6 in the morning? You have nothing better to do? Like, you don't want to fucking sleep?
Like, they have a huge ass yard. Like, you just walk your dog around your house. Like, a whole jog through the neighborhood in the morning. Good for you, but it's not necessary.
And also just, none of this was necessary.
Yeah.
And she was like motioning for me to roll down my window. And rolled down my window because I was like, okay, it's this old ass woman with like a dog. Like, she's not gonna be a fucking harmful bitch. So I rolled down like my window. Oh, like, what are you doing? Like, what's like the issue? And she was like, you didn't stop at that stop sign, and pointed to the stop sign. No, like, and I was like being really nice about it. I was like, no, like, I'm pretty sure I did. Like, I always make sure to stop at the stop signs. And I was like, yeah, I have a nephew who like plays in like the street and stuff, so I always make sure to stop at those stop signs. And she was like, no, you didn't. And I was like, yes, I did. Like, I don't know what she would have said. And she's like, no, you didn't. And she goes, do you live around here? And I was like, what the fuck does that have to do with me stopping at a stop sign, basically? And she was like, around here, people listen to the laws. And I was like, I was. And I know I was listening to the law. And basically this like woman is getting like so fucking pressed. Meanwhile, like, while I'm arguing with this woman, I was like, literally at this point, like, I'm annoyed. Like, it's 6 in the morning, I know, I was just trying to get to work, and I went, ma'am, like, I'm really just trying to get to work. Like, I work with children, someone has to be there, because we worked with toddlers. And I was like, ma'am, like, I have to be there. Like, I can't be doing this. Like, I have to go and work with children, and I have to get there when their parents drop them off. And she was like, I don't care. You didn't stop at the stop signs. Do you drive like this in your neighborhood? And I was like, respectfully, stopping at stop signs, yes, I do.
Right.
I drive like that everywhere.
And she always stops at stop signs, like whether it's at 6 in the morning or any other time, like whenever she's picking me up or dropping me off, she always stops at those stop signs.
No one ever stops at those stop signs.
Right.
I'm like one of the only people to do so.
I live in that neighborhood, and I only ever stop at that stop sign for like a quick second and then go, because literally no one drives on those roads. Like, the stop sign is only there because there's like a little bit of an intersection, but it's 6 in the morning. There is no one in any part of my neighborhood.
Exactly. So like at 6 in the morning, no one's usually there. It's like ridiculous. And she's arguing with me. And I was like, why are you stopped here arguing? As she's arguing with me, her dog just jumps on my fucking side of my door. And it's like fucking paws on my fucking window thing. I was like, can you get your fucking dog off my car? And she's like, you didn't stop at the stop sign. So I was like, get your fucking dog off the car. And basically I'm fucking arguing with this woman, because I'm like, why are you just letting your dog just be on my car? Like, I don't care if I stop at the stop sign or not. Like, your dog is on my car. And I literally like he keeps like, I hear him scratching the car. It almost
sounded like metal on like a plate, like the way that his nails were just digging into the side of the car, scratching it, like as it was trying to get a grip on your car. Like, you could hear it. It was like metal sounding. I'm like, it was like ear piercing. I'm like, that is awful. And she's just standing there letting the dog do it the whole time.
And I'm literally yelling at her, like, I don't care, get the fucking dog off my car. Because I was like literally like about to like fucking start the car. I don't care. I was like, get your dog off my car. And she's like, no, my dog can be like wherever he wants to be for people who don't stop at stop signs. And I'm like, what are you doing? It's 6 in the morning. I'm basically like trying to like start, but I don't want to roll up the window because the fucking dog's paws are right there. And if I was a bitch, I just would have rolled up the window. But like, I don't want to fucking injure this dog. And I was like, can you get your dog off my car? And literally like the dog is not getting off my car. And then like at this point, Julia fucking walks out of her house and I see me like cursing this woman out. I was like, get your fucking dog on my car. She's like, I'm not getting my dog off your car. Yeah. And like just comes back in like a few minutes later. Like this is also in the span of like a few minutes. And
yeah.
I was like, the escalation was just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I was in my house, so I went in to grab the Gatorades. I forgot where I put them, like I had to get a new pack, so I grabbed them, I walk out, and all I hear is the lady say, because I know she asked Taylor that a couple times, she's like, well, do you live around here? And so that's why, like, I kind of walked a little faster, got in the car, and like I kind of leaned forward to look out the door, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she looks at me, and she's like, in like this super whiny voice, she's like, your friend doesn't obey the rules of the road. She doesn't follow the law. She didn't make a full and complete stop at that stop sign back there. And I'm like, I know my friend. I'm like, I know that she made a stop at the stop sign. And she's freaking out, so I look over and I could see that, because it's like a taller dog.
Yeah, it's a big dog.
And so I could see its paws like on the car. I could hear it on the car. And meanwhile, she's like, she keeps going on. I was kind of tuning her out at this point, because like this dog is scratching up Taylor's door. She's like, your friend didn't obey the rules of the road. She doesn't live around here. It's disrespectful. It's not safe. And she's just going on and on and on.
Literally and we're trying to explain, even Julia's trying to explain, like, ma'am, like, we have to go. We have to be there.
Right.
Because she was like, we literally are watching toddlers. Like, we have to be there. We can't be doing this. Like, please get your dog off the car. And we're both trying to be like, ma'am, like, please get your dog off the car. Like, I have to start the car and everything. And I was like, we literally have to go. And we were literally like, ma'am, you are making us late to work. And like, if we aren't there, like, those parents, like, first of all, you're holding us up at work.
Mm-hmm.
You're holding us up to get to work. And our work was like not super close.
Yeah,
so we like
30-ish, maybe a little less than, but like sometimes the traffic, it would take about like 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I was like we have to get to work. And then you are then putting people's whose like parents are then have to go to work. And a lot of those kids, like, their parents like wouldn't walk them up. There was like this car line. So there's been times where like people haven't shown up and you're just watching like toddlers like stand there at like this car line area, and like people aren't really watching them. And I was like, okay. And also we had like the younger side of the toddlers, because there's like bigger toddlers and then there's like smaller ones. Some parents would walk them up, but most parents, like especially at this time of the year towards the end, they wouldn't, because they needed to like quickly get to work and they drop their kids off last minute. Which, like, fair to the parents, shit happens. You have a toddler, it's hard to get them in the car. Their late is 30 minutes past our late. Because we had to be there like 30 minutes early
for like a morning like type meeting, and we were already past the time at this point of when we were hoping to leave, because she was keeping us like held up. And
we were like, ma'am, like, please, like, we have to go. And she's like basically screaming at us, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then I'm finally like, please get the fuck away, like, please back away from my car. And then I started the car, and then she pulls her dog off, and I'm like, we couldn't have done that sooner. And then I'm already annoyed, like I'm fucking freaking out about it on the way to work. So I'm like, you literally like held us up. Like, how are we gonna explain that this fucking bitch was like just letting the dog in the car? And we literally park the car. And I'm like, okay, like now, because I wasn't gonna step out of the car before, because we were so late that I couldn't step out of the car to look at the door while she was there.
And I think at that point too, we were still so like pissed off. Like, I kind of like slipped my mind too, because I was like, we're already so late, we have to go to this meeting. Like, I totally forgot to even look at the car.
At work, we already made it, like, already like running like a little bit late. And then like I turned the car off, I closed the door. There's just scratch marks on my door. And this car like was a brand new car. Like, this is like a brand new car, like literally nobody had it before me. So there's like, and there's never been scratches on the door. And there's just dog scratches on the fucking door. And I'm like, what the fuck?
And you could like clearly tell that that's what those scratches are from because of like the pattern and where they are. It's exactly where the dog was, like just on the driver's side door where the dog was, like coming down from the window.
Because like now how am I gonna explain to my parents, like I'm coming back from work and then now I have to explain to my parents who helped me pay for the car that yeah, this dog scratched up the car. And this was already like after my parents like repaired something in the car because someone hit my mirrors like a few weeks prior. I had to tell my parents and I'm like, guys, like this woman, like literally, and I explained like this whole story to them and they're like, what the fuck? And basically there's still scratches on my car and no one paid for them because I didn't have video proof that she scratched up my car. And it took me like everything in me to not just knock on her door and just like lose my shit. And every time I like drive past that house, I'm like, fuck you, fuck your dog, bro, like get a fucking life. And also Julia's allergic, so I was like,
I'm allergic to dogs and cats. Like my dogs are hypoallergenic.
And I was like, so I don't want this dog, because then it's like literally scratching, like moving its fucking head, hair's getting my car.
Its head is like, because it's a tall dog, like its head is in the window, like sniffing around and stuff.
Get like your dog off my car. First of all, not even because of scratching, because I'm like, also, Julia's right here. Yeah, and I was like, who did this to me?
Right.
What karma did I get and deserve this for?
For 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And Julia also has background with this woman.
Yeah,
like,
so
we already have problems with her.
She's a total Karen. So this was in the height of COVID. Obviously, everything is fucking shut down. And, like, me and my family, we all have, like, some, like, mental health issues and stuff. So, like, to keep from getting depressed, like, we definitely were, like, trying to, like, exercise more, do more things. Because, like, we literally couldn't leave our house. Because both of my parents have like autoimmune disorders. My grandparents are immunocompromised, like, so we were like very careful with the COVID pandemic to like stay in our houses. But then it was kind of like, what do we do while we're here? So it was this one day and it was like kind of like summer, maybe like June, July, and this was kind of, as I said, like the height of the COVID pandemic. Yeah. And it was a nice ass day. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. It was sunny, but like with like kind of enough shade. And where I live kind of on a hill. So like it's kind of hard to do like play anything on that hill. So we went to the street where she lives, because that street like right by her house is pretty flat. So like we kind of set up like our little makeshift like net. It's literally just one of those like unfoldable things, like you just kind of retract it and spread it across the street so we could play tennis. And we just set up, you know, like maybe like 20 feet this way and then like our little net. And there were no cars that were coming by. There was one car that came by and we immediately moved everything. No problem. Nobody had any problem with us. It was me, my little brother, and my dad. A cop car pulls down and they're like, oh yeah, we got a complaint from a neighbor. Even the cop admitted how ridiculous it was. She had called, because we were kind of set up like a little bit outside of her house, had apparently called the police to say that we were outside playing tennis in the road. And what if there were cars coming and we were blocking them? Like, I found it kind of funny because even the cop was like, you guys aren't doing anything wrong. Like, there were no cars on the street. There were no cars that came by. Like, we're literally just two children and their father playing tennis on a nice summer day when everything is shut down. Like, we couldn't go to parks. At this time, I didn't have a bike. So, yeah, like, we couldn't really go anywhere or do anything. So we're like, why not kind of make something up? And like, he kind of confirmed that it was like them. Like, we figured it out that it was them, and like even the cop kind of confirmed it. He's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. He's like I don't have a problem with it. He's like, I would just advise moving your game from now on so you don't get the cops called on you in the future. But it's one of those things, like, even now, like, we look back on it and we're like, what a bitch. Like, why do you see a family having fun and be like, oh, my first reaction is to call the police on them? Like, we're playing tennis. Again, one car, it wasn't like we set up a permanent net in the middle of a road. Like, it was an empty road, middle of COVID, a very temporary net that could easily shoved aside for a car to pass. Like, we never understood, even the cop didn't understand what was the problem. So, like, it's always been, this neighbor's been a Karen.
Alright guys, so we ran out of storage on my camera, but basically, that was our story. I'm sorry if it wasn't too crazy. I just needed to get it fucking out there.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It was almost like a rant type of thing. Like,
but yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, let me know, because me and Julia talk shit all the time, and we may as well like make it
we have
public.
like so many other like Karen stories or stories like this
From high school, bro.
Oh my god, yeah, we could make like a documentary.
So yeah, please let us know. And yeah, please like this video if you enjoyed it, and let us know if we should make more. And yeah, now we are gonna go shopping and eat some fucking McDonald's. So we're gonna have a nice, good day. And to anyone who's dealt with Karens, I'm so sorry. And especially this one, fuck you. Fuck you. Like,
Fuck you.
Fuck you. We have no other words.
Fuck you.
Alright, bye.
I'm not crazy, I'm just scared of what I'll do.